Photography has become so important as a medium. It's not a standalone, it's an integral part of the contemporary art expression and experience. The camera itself has changed over time. The fact that everything can be digital, that some of it can never see the interface of a real camera, so to speak, has changed everything in terms of what is acceptable and what isn't. And in that way, it also has increased the innovation and the imagination. What you see with this selection is a bit of a variety of not only the techniques involved, but also what the artists are having to say. For instance, if you look at Benjamin Timpson's work, he's taking properly sourced butterfly wings, photographing them on a light table, and creating these wonderful compositions based on a sketch that he has done. What you're seeing then is a photograph of these kind of collages made out of butterfly wings. But what he's saying is something that's much not more profound, but something profound out of something of beauty. He's addressing a crisis that's happening in certain cultural communities, but he's doing it in a way that implies a sense of hope, that there's some dignity in the situation and that there can be redemption. He's also working with crisis intervention organizations, so he gets individual personalized stories of these women. And then it's a way of telling the story, but in a way that's beautiful, with nature involved and a sense of hope. Mark Klett, for a while, worked with the U.S. Geological Survey, and he found some tremendous beauty not only in the landscape, but he also decided to make a reference to the idea of how the landscape can be timeless, but then how it also changes over time. He looked at some of the early geological survey photographers and decided to set his tripod with a certain kind of algorithm in the same exact spot where the geological survey photographers photographed. Something completely different. It's not about the people, but it is about the people. Without people, there's no memory. Kate Breakey did a series called Small Deaths. And Small Deaths was really a kind of a nostalgic reverie about all the many animals that die in the desert that we never know about. It was a way of commemorating their death and saying, I see you, I feel you, and I remember you. So in a way, it's like a memento mori. One that's maybe not quite so much about hope, but about memory and about documenting one's life would be Paho Man. And what he did was he photographed every single thing in his apartment to make a mention about how insignificant our things are and consumerism. It's a way of saying, this is my life. Of course, each one has this different take. Using a new digital technology is Judy Miller. What she did was she photographed at wax museums, just the wax sculptures, and then later went to different places like libraries and botanical gardens and historic homes all over the country. She sutured in the image of the person in these unlikely backgrounds, not where they were meant to be. And by doing that, she's kind of created altered realities. These are some large-scale photographs that have a lot to say, and each one of these has that. It's a layer of visual and aesthetic enjoyment, but at the same time, there's a deeper message if you'll spend the time to look at it.